In last lecture, we studied about the points dew point and humidity. Today, we will see our next point, that is the unit of heat. The unit of heat are joule in SI unit and calorie in CGS units. The amount of heat necessary to raise temperature of 1 gram of water by 1 degree Celsius from 14.5 degree Celsius to 15.5 degree Celsius is called 1 calorie heat. Similarly, the amount of heat necessary to raise the temperature of 1 kilogram of water by 1 degree Celsius from 14.5 degree Celsius to 15.5 degree Celsius is called a 1 kilocalorie heat, and it is clear that 1 kilocalorie is equal to 1000 calorie. And you have to always remember that if we heat 1 kilogram of water by 1 degree Celsius in different temperatures range from 14.5 degree Celsius to 15.5 degree Celsius, the amount of heat required will be slightly different, and it is therefore essential to define a specific temperature range while defining the unit of heat. Calorie and joule are related the following relations, that is 1 calorie is equal to 4.18 joule. That means the unit of heat are joule and calorie in SI and CGS system respectively, and we know what is meant by the 1 calorie heat and what is meant by the 1 kilocalorie heat, and the relation between kilocalorie and calorie, and also the relation between calorie and joule. The point here given here, that is introduction to science, it is deleted from the syllabus. So we will study our next point, that is the specific heat capacity. For this we have to do one experiment as shown in the figure 5.8. What is meant by the specific heat capacity? We can study it by this experiment. For this experiment we have to use material like a tray with thick layer of wax, solid spheres of iron, lead and copper of equal mass, burner or spirit lamp and large beaker. According to the procedure, we have to take 3 spheres of iron, copper and lead of equal mass and put these 3 spheres in boiling water in the beaker for some time. We know that boiling point of water is 100 degrees Celsius, so all the spheres are put in the water having 100 degrees Celsius temperature, and then put out the 3 spheres from the water, and all the spheres will be at temperature 100 degrees Celsius. Now put them immediately on the thick slab of wax. Note the depth of the each sphere goes into the wax. Here we have to observe the depth of this sphere into the wax. We know that wax is a melting material, and due to the heat absorbed by these spheres, wax started to melt. The sphere which absorbs more heat from the water will give more heat to the wax, and more wax will thus melt, and the sphere will go deeper in the wax. Here we see that the iron has the deeper length and the lead has the less depth. That means the iron absorbed more heat from the water and lead absorbed less heat from the water, and copper is in between them. This shows that for equal rise in temperature, the 3 spheres have absorbed different amounts of heat. This means that the property which determines the amount of heat absorbed by a sphere is different for these 3 spheres, and this property is called as the specific heat capacity. The amount of heat energy required to raise the temperature of unit mass of an object by 1 degree Celsius is called the specific heat of that object, and the specific heat can be denoted by the letter small c, and the SI unit of specific heat is joule per kilogram degree Celsius. Here there is a mistake in this unit, but you have to write joule per kilogram degree Celsius, and in CGS system it is calorie per gram degree Celsius. Here they have given us some substances and their specific heat capacity in calorie per gram degree Celsius. If the specific heat of an object is C, mass of an object is m, and the temperature of the object is raised by delta T degree Celsius, the heat energy absorbed by the object is given by m into C into delta T. And if the same way, if specific heat of an object is C, the mass of an object is m, and if the temperature of the object is decreased by delta T degree Celsius, then the heat energy lost by the object will be also the same, m into C into delta T. Means the formula will be same, heat is absorbed or heat is lost, we can calculate by the same formula. Here we study about the specific heat capacity of an object. Specific heat capacity means the amount of heat energy required to raise the temperature of a unit mass of an object by 1 degree Celsius is called as the specific heat of that object. And we have to see our next point, that is the heat energy, that is the heat exchange. Here we can see the diagram 5.10 where heat resistant material box is shown. Heat resistant material box means there is no exchange of heat in outside and inside of the box. If heat is exchanged between a hot and cold object, we know that the heat is always transferred from hot object to cold object. If heat is exchanged between the hot object and cold object, the temperature of the cold object goes on increasing due to gain of energy, and the temperature of the hot object goes on decreasing due to loss of energy, and this change in temperature continues till the temperature of both the objects attain the same value. That means when the hot and cold object acquire the same temperature, that time the process stops. In this process, the cold object gains heat energy and the hot object loses heat energy. If the system of both the objects is isolated from the environment by keeping it inside a heat resistant box, then no energy can flow from inside the box or come into the box. In this situation, we get the following principle. It is known as the principle of heat exchange. According to this principle, it shows that heat energy lost by a hot object is equal to heat energy gained by the cold object. And our last point from this chapter, that is the measurement of specific heat by mixing method and calorimeter. The specific heat of an object can be measured by mixing method with the help of calorimeter. We have studied calorimeter in the previous standard. If the hot solid object is put in water in a calorimeter, heat exchange between the hot object and the water and the calorimeter starts. This continues till the temperature of the solid object, water and the calorimeter becomes equal. According to principle of heat exchange, when we put the hot object into the water of the calorimeter, at that time heat is given out from the solid object and it is absorbed by the water and calorimeter. It shows by this equation, heat lost by the solid object is equal to heat gained by the water in the calorimeter plus heat gained by the calorimeter. Here, heat lost by the solid object is equal to mass of the solid object into its specific heat into decrease in its temperature. And similarly, heat gained by the water and the calorimeter. Heat gained by the water is equal to Q1. It is given by the equation mass of the water into its specific heat into increase in its temperature, and heat gained by the calorimeter Q2 is equal to mass of the calorimeter into its specific heat into increase its temperature. And here heat lost by the hot objects is equal to heat gained by the calorimeter plus heat gained by the water, that is Q is equal to Q2 plus Q1. And using this equation, if the specific heat of water and calorimeter is known, you can find the specific heat of the solid object can be calculated by this formula. Thus, today we will see the 3 points, that is the units of the heat, joule and calorie. These are the units of heat in SI and CJ system. Then we see the definition of 1 calorie heat and the 1 kilocalorie heat, and the relation between kilocalorie and calorie, relation between calorie and joule. Then we study about the specific heat capacity of the object and heat exchange, and last point is measurement of specific heat and with the help of calorimeter. Here we completed our 5th chapter, that is the heat. You have to read the whole chapter again and solve the exercise given below the chapter and revise the chapter again. Here we will stop today. Thank you.